Hi, I'm Lars Bergstrom with Curtis Stokes & Associates. Today we're looking at Night Flight 2002 Hylas 46 center cockpit. Starting at the bow, some nice features are the stainless steel plating they've done here on the foredeck, protecting the deck from the anchor chain and whatnot. A large vertical windlass. The roller furler is almost oversized. Very large drum and foil to handle the large Genoa on this boat. Going slightly aft, sort of a custom part of this boat is the owner who had this boat commissioned ordered the engine locker done, split up. So
Anchor locker.
the anchor locker is in the front now, and it's been separated with the rope locker just behind, rather than just one large anchor locker. Here you've got the chain plate for the inner forestay for the storm sail. You have nice wide decks on the Hylas, stainless steel hatches, beautiful stainless door adds with nice protectors over them. Stainless winches on the mast, self-tailing 2-speed winches. This boat is fitted with in-mast furling mainsail. All the controls led aft to the cockpit. Again, the decks get wider as you go further back. The 46 is a German Frères design boat, and one of the unique design features he was known for is maintaining the beam well aft. You see that on a lot of the more modern boats. I think he was a little ahead of his time in that respect. It makes for a very large stateroom below and a lot of deck space above, with room for very large lazarettes on either side. There's nice heavy hatch boards too. You can feel the heavy build and the construction everywhere. It's got a custom-made cradle for the life raft built right into the stern rail, so it's out of the way, yet can be deployed in an instant. Another special factor of the Hylas is the sugar scoop transom with the nice teak steps down to the swim ladder. This one's been fitted with Simpson davits, very strong, all stainless steel. This boat has a Achilles inflatable, rigid hull, aluminum hull boat, fitted with a Suzuki 4-stroke outboard. The antenna array keeps all the antennas up and out of the way. The additional lifting davit for lifting the engine or for bringing crew aboard in a man overboard event, right next to the life sling. You can enter the cockpit from the side or from the stern. A nice sized destroyer wheel, beautiful compass. You've got your autopilot and a second repeater for the chart plotter. She has nice cockpit cushions. Behind the cushions you'll note the controls for the electric winches. Got the Lumar 58 self-tailing for the primary, Lumar 48 for the secondary. And the distribution panel out here for all of the outboard lights, compass lights, windlass, all the exterior controls you need to access without having to go down below to turn on a breaker. This side is the engine control, the tachometer, water temperature, oil pressure, all right at your fingertips. And an additional electric winch control on this side. The teak on the cockpit seats below the cushions and the cockpit sole. The rest of the decks on this boat were done in fiberglass. Going around a decent sized cockpit, plenty of seating for 6 or 8 people. You got additional 48 winch here to handle the mainsail control lines. You got in and out And then for the furler, this is a single line continuous loop furling unit, and then the mainsail outhaul and the boom vang, all right there. Again, easy to get to. Got radar here and the repeaters for wind, depth, and speed. So this is the main salon for the 46 night flight, the Hylas center cockpit. Oftentimes you come down into the main salon, the first thing you see is the mast. Well, here they've boxed the mast in a nice teak box, which leaves room for brooms or what have you as well. You can see all the woodwork finished very well inside and out. And it's got a compression post, even though it is steel keel stepped mast. The salon settee is room enough to sit 4 people around comfortably. If you have additional guests, the bench slides out easily, allowing 1 or 2 more guests a seat at the table. The table is an up-down table with the leaves that drop, so it can drop and spin and be just a coffee table as well. To starboard is a sofa seat, doubles as a sea berth. All the cabinetry still in excellent shape. Most of these were done with louvered cabinet doors. These were ordered special from the factory in the solid wood with the ventilation at the top, giving it a clean, more modern look. Going forward, you come to the guest cabin. The sail is here, as all of the sails and canvas, the Dodger and the Bimini and cockpit enclosure have all been stored as it's hurricane season here, so the boat's kind of semi-prepped for a storm. One of my favorite features about this room is the fact that this mattress can go away, and underneath is a comfortable office chair. Converts into a desk with full-size filing cabinet drawers. This is where all the ship's manuals and paperwork are kept now. You've got 2 full-size lockers in here. These are all pretty much packed full of all the necessary gear for long-distance cruising. The Pullman berth, just aft, unlike the V berth, is much more comfortable for sleeping underway. And the space makes for a rather roomy head. Still plenty of standing headroom. You've got an electric macerator toilet, lots of cabinetry in the head, nice stainless steel hatch for ventilation. You've got a linen closet in here and an additional locker for all of your cleaning supplies. And a locker forward is spacious. And you have a fold down seat. You can fold that up and stand and take a shower. So pretty functional head for a guest bedroom. Moving aft now, back into the salon. Over here we have our nav station, comfortable enough to access. Room for a laptop computer. As you see, most of the navigation on board here is done by computer. Although you still have a repeater for the chart plotter and a radar. Another repeater for the speed and depth. ICOM VHF radio. Remote control for the autopilot. You've got the single sideband radio for long-range communications. And access to all the wiring buses. Very neatly done. Very well labeled, just how you like to see all of your wiring done. Should you need any repair work done, you can save a lot of time hunting and pecking through wires. The distribution panel is very well laid out with your DC panel here, your battery monitoring, below that your AC panel, and then your battery switches. All of these open easily for access to the wiring all the wiring neatly bundled. You'll notice all of the cabinetry on the Hylas is finished inside and out. This finishes off at the top with your stereo and your electrical monitoring gear and the thermostat for the air conditioning. You've got additional storage up top. Here is your, for the electric winches, the breaker for the electric winches are all here, 1, 2, 3. So you've got 3 electric winches on board, which we showed you the switches for earlier. Nice little storage for charts, just the right size to fit your favorite chart books in, and engine access in here. Inside here, while we're at it, we'll open this up, and then we'll so you have access to this side. We'll get a little more light in there as we open up the forward portion. Access to the front of the engine. This is a Yanmar 4JH3TE 75 horsepower diesel engine with a secondary 200 amp alternator to keep the house batteries charged up. And there's the high pressure pump for the water maker. The filters right here, easy to get to, can be switched over. You can change a filter while underway. It's fitted with a gauge so you can see the vacuum on the filters. If they start getting dirty, you'll know it. Additional engine access is here in the galley, so you can get to the starboard side where the oil dipstick is. There's really no part of the engine that you can't reach, even though it's a rather small engine compartment, keeping space for things like the large double bin sink, full-size gas range, an oven, all stainless inside and out. The galley, while it looks narrow, has plenty of counter space and lots of cabinets actually, and these cabinets are fairly deep. These go all the way out to the hull, so still quite a bit of storage on here. The refrigerator is accessed from the top or from the front, as is the freezer, and thermometers here for monitoring the refrigeration. This is your fume detector for detecting propane. A microwave oven, and a nice little pantry here for additional storage. Going back now to the master cabin. Master cabin features a full-size queen bed, walk around. Pretty easy to come around. You've got a nice little vanity built in here. Port light here, also to starboard. Ventilation through stainless steel hatches and a large stainless steel hatch above. Cupboards built in here. Light switches are all easy to get to. There's quite a bit of room and quite a bit of light, with 4 opening ports and 1 hatch total. At the foot of the berth here is a hanging locker. Again, all finished inside and out. These hinges actually were just installed so that the doors could open all the way. So these are special hinges that he ordered for this boat. Then the master head, good size, plenty of cabinetry, electric sea head, opening port for ventilation. Inside the shower, again, you've got a fold down seat if you wanted to sit down, or you can leave that stand. And the glass door and close off, keeping the rest of the head dry. They decided this was a good place to put the washer-dryer combo. The old Splendid 2000 washer-dryer. Has had very little use. The third water tank is kept underneath the bunk. You have access here. Pretty easy to get to the water tank. Behind that, the large battery boxes for, I think they're 4D batteries. And the membranes for the water maker. Controls for the water maker are right down here. All these floorboards come up and have storage underneath of them. Under this one, which is a little harder to get out, is the inverter. Storage in here. Port light, opening port. Headliner's in good shape. You've got ducted panels here for the heater, so you have heat in addition to the air conditioning. So behind the engine room is additional access. You can get to the back of the engine. You also have in here the filters for the water maker, two battery chargers, the Salon fire extinguisher. This is a DC air conditioner, which it really doesn't use, and I don't think it's friendly to the batteries, but it's there. I've had it on, it works. I just don't think it's very practical, nor does the previous owner. All of the tanks are accessible through hatches in the floor. They're all labeled. They've all got access. Here's your water, 40 gallons here, 40 gallons to port, and then 50 gallons aft underneath the bunk. The same with the fuel tanks. They're under hatches in there. In the forward cabin, the floors come up. These floors are all latched, so these floorboards aren't going to come loose on you. They've got pins in the back side, latches in the front. So you can see the bilges are fairly clean, uncluttered, easy to get to the through holes, the strainers, and all the necessary items down in the bilge. This boat was cruised extensively on the west coast and then shipped to the east coast and cruised rather extensively here. The couple's retiring. They feel too old to continue and trying to find a new home for night flight. Overall, I think the boat's in good condition. The interior, I think, is in excellent shape. The woodwork, the upholstery, the headliner, all in great shape. The cabin sole is beautiful. She could use a wax job. The rigging is all in good shape. The sails, they're in good shape. The boat's pretty well ready to go.